So she called my phone. So I placed the phone up. I got the phone in my hand and I'm eating my food.
Right.
So I got my sunglasses. I got my sunglasses sitting on my head.
Right.
My sunglasses fall by accident, right? Not by
Yeah.
accident. And I put them back up real fast. And the waitress was in front of me. Rail
Who is that?
think somebody sitting at, she say, man, who in the is that sitting in front of you?
Does that affect your relationship now?
With us?
Yeah.
Of course.
So do you feel like Chad may not trust you as much because he knows you was with another?
I wouldn't say it doesn't affect Chad and our relationship because
What's up, everybody? My name is Mel, and welcome to Life Coaching by Mel. Here at Life Coaching by Mel, we speak truth regarding the nuclear family. And if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you get each and every one of my videos. Hit that like button for me. Hit me in that comment section. Today is going to be an invigorating conversation that I know you want to contribute to. And be sure to share this with at least one person. Let's get into today's topic. On today's topic, we will be discussing the Ocho and Sharelle breakup, maybe like you haven't heard yet. Because what we talk about here on Life Coaching by Mel is the nuclear family. Because I personally believe we have a lot of room for improvement here in the Black community. And a lot of the cures, a lot of the solutions that we're looking for is in a healed, fully functioning nuclear family. And that is with a mother, a father, and their children. So however you listen to this, turn the volume up just a little bit. Let's dive into this conversation. Most of you guys are aware of what's going on with this couple. Chad Ochocinco is a former NFL player, actually probably more known for his relationships he's had since the NFL nowadays. And Sharelle, she's a mogul regarding the real estate industry, and she's also done some reality TV as well. I'm not 100%, I'm a sports guy. I'm not 100% sure of Sharelle's background, but I do know that once I found out she was Chad's soon-to-be wife, it became interesting to me. I watch Nightcap whenever I get a chance, and frequently, Ocho would talk about her, and she would come on every so often. There was a lot of red flags along the way, and it's not for me to call out every single thing about someone's relationship. However, I am the guy who likes to point out integral things I see in relationships. I called Making Good and Devin Franklin's soon-to-be divorce before it happened. I've talked about Tia and Corey a lot on the channel. I've talked about Sierra and Russell. It's a lot of red flags that I see. So there's a lot of integral things that happen with these celebrity breakups. How can we take this public situation and bring it home and learn from it so it won't destroy our house as well? In this particular relationship, they did a ton of things wrong. When I say wrong, I'm not saying my subjective, what makes a relationship wrong. I'm talking about you can look objectively amongst relationships all over the world, and you can realize a lot of things they were doing throughout the process of their relationship, and definitely how it started, it doesn't lead to success. It doesn't breed success regarding relationships. One of those things I blame Chad 100% for is how public he is with this relationship. He deems that as his claim to fame, like he lives his life out publicly. And that does include arguments. So he would frequently on Nightcap and any other medium that he has would share with us an argument. Let's take a look at one of the more recent ones and see what we can gain from that.
We got into it again. I bullshit you not, and I'm not even playing it. She right here. I'm eating breakfast, right?
Yes.
I'm eating breakfast. I get my normal. I get my French toast, and I get my steak and eggs, right? And I get my fruit bowl.
Okay.
So she called my phone. So I placed the phone up. I got the phone in my hand, and I'm eating my food.
Right.
So I got my sunglasses. I got my sunglasses sitting on my head.
Right.
My sunglasses fall by accident, right? Not by accident. And I put them back up real fast. And the waitress was in front of me. Sharelle
Who is
think
that?
somebody sitting at, she say, man, who in the fuck is that sitting in front of you? I know you're not fucking playing with me. Put your glasses back down. So I took my glasses, I'm like, and I put them down on the table. She's like, Chad, don't you fucking play with me.
Right. I hear you in the background, Sharelle laughing.
And like she think it's funny. She say, I say, Mike, what are you talking about? Turn the camera around. I turn the camera around.
He didn't turn the camera around. He didn't turn the camera
Hold
around.
on, listen. I turn the camera around. My plate of food is right there. My French toast, I had finished already, and I'm eating my steak and eggs. I'm like, man, what is your problem? Then the waitress comes right back out right again, And now the waitress nervous because she can hear her cursing. And I'm confused.
Rail, you acting up like that, Rail?
It was so embarrassing because I didn't want to snap, and the waitress was like, the waitress got scared because she could hear her cursing, so the waitress went away the first time, and she came back to make sure everything was okay.
That was real.
Like,
that wasn't real. That was real.
Boy, I swear, boy, she snapped. She
Rail,
snapped.
you snapped on it for real, Rail?
Because I was like, put your glasses back down.
No. Tell him how you did it. Do it. Don't laugh.
Put your glasses back down. I didn't say that.
Did you tell him
no.
he was playing in your face, Rail?
I said, don't fucking play in my face now. You better not be fucking playing in my face. That's what I said.
No, say it how you said it. Say it how you said it over the phone. Say it just how you said it.
No.
Man, she was talking to me like I'm not even Ocho. Like she like we almost got into it. But again, she apologized, said I was sorry because when my glasses fell and they went back up, she saw the reflection of the waitress sitting in front of me.
Right.
And it was her. And by the time it dawned on me what she was talking about, because she was confusing me, because instead of just communicating and talking normal, she was screaming like she was my homeboy and like she wanted to fight.
I had a tone in my voice, but I don't scream.
Man,
yeah.
I just had
But you wanted to let him know the seriousness of what you were saying.
No, she would get in her head and talk about, oh, I was finna pull up on you. And
man, I was about to pull up, baby.
Hey, I'm talking about straight hood, straight out the hood. Out the hood.
And they say the thing that makes you laugh will soon make you cry. It's so funny how when men stress how we are stressed, or when we mention how we have issues, or we take issue with something that's happening to us, it's a butt of all jokes. For some reason, everybody finds that funny. You saw the caption that the person put there, and it's very, very an important point, that a relationship without trust won't last. And that's exactly what happened here. So if you can see here, 100% is her going at him, thinking that he's cheating or potentially could cheat. Where is this insecurity coming from? Where's this notion of he could potentially be doing something against me? Well, I would say, and many of you have already said, for those that are covering this topic, this is a guilty conscience. This is something she's built within herself that can potentially happen based on what she has done. Because recently, this wasn't no more than 4 or 5 months ago, she went on a podcast with a couple of ladies and opened up about how the relationship started and what she did to get Chad. Let's take a listen.
So we'll be different because we are emotional creatures. And I feel like, when I was younger, I used to have the tit for tat mentality, and I cheated on my ex-husband with Chad.
Really?
I wouldn't say cheat because I mentally checked out.
I understand. So you were almost done with that relationship.
I was done.
So you were done.
I was
with
mentally checked out.
I was mentally checked out. I'm going to pause it there, ladies and gentlemen, because a lot of you already seen this before, but if you haven't, just bear with me for just a second. How many of you right now, put this in the comment section, believe that's a legitimate excuse? Legitimate excuse. There's a legitimate reason to go out and cheat with someone when you're mentally checked out. It's not a boyfriend-girlfriend situation, talking situation. It's 100% husband-wife situation. She mentally checked out. She went ahead and cheated. Now, why is it so easy for women to excuse each other's bad behavior? And I say this a lot on this channel, that women are overall degenerates and they support each other degenerate behaviors. When I say overall, I mean in general. You will find women who are not degenerates or who do not support things of this nature. But I will say, for the most part, women can find other women to galvanize with them in order to support a negative choice.
And I grew an emotional attach. So it was like I was already physically attracted to him. So it just made it even better.
But see, that doesn't feel like tit for tat. It just feels like you was done and somebody else caught your attention.
But at the age,
I don't think women have respect for marriage. That's just my opinion. Modern women in our day don't have respect for marriage. Whatever they want to fulfill at that time, they will fulfill it. And that's why it's a needle in the haystack when you find a woman that does respect marriage. I'm very fortunate that I found a woman who that does respect marriage in general. But it's the needle in the haystack, and you have to find that. It's supposed to be hard, don't get me wrong. The Bible talks about a prudent wife being rare as rubies, meaning this is a needle in the haystack situation. It's supposed to be rare. It helps us appreciate it more. But more often than not, you're going to run across a woman like this. Ladies, can you hold each other accountable for negative choices, negative decisions, or will you keep supporting these things to justify your own negative decisions?
I'm at now, I felt like it was wrong because I should have ended that relationship fully.
Yeah.
I agree.
I was younger, and
there we go. I was young. And she say younger because I believe her and Chad are about 5 years into the relationship. So this couldn't be no more than 6-7 years that this happened. But that's always an excuse. When do men get that out? And I get it. Men are held to a higher standard. I'm grateful for that higher standard because that shows how much we are the stronger vessel. Women are the weaker vessel. God holds us more accountable. He's held us more accountable since the beginning of time. I want to ask you guys, is that not something that we should hold women accountable for? Like the rest of us. If one woman is committing an act, the rest of us should be able to look at them and say, look, this is BS. This is straight up wrong. You're wrong. Your age has nothing to do with the actions that you had. Age does breed maturity, but certain things are such common sense that age is not a factor.
at that time, I was focused on myself and trying to get over everything that I went through. And if I would go back, I probably wouldn't have did what I did, but it happened. I can't go back and change it.
I give her credit for saying that she was wrong. I give her credit for saying that. But why every decision, negative decision that women make, there's always something that they were going through. It's always something. The devil was busy. Somebody attacked them. Somebody made them the offended. Somebody made them a victim. Somebody did something to them that it was beyond their control. It was a visceral, a viral reaction to some unfortunate situation that they had to do what they did.
Does that affect your relationship now?
With us?
Yeah.
Of course.
So do you feel like Chad may not trust you as much because he knows you was with another?
I wouldn't say it doesn't affect Chad and our relationship, because I told him the reason why I did what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I think she told the truth on accident right there. I think she was referring to initially the ex-husband, which she's going to say here in just a moment. But she was actually telling the truth about her and Chad. It does affect your current relationship. You are the affected one. You know that it's possible and more likely probable that someone will disrespect marriage because you disrespected your marriage.
It does affect my ex-husband and our relationship. We do have a child together, and
so we are co-parenting.
Co-parenting, it does affect a lot. We don't communicate at all.
Yeah.
I bought my son a phone. That's how we communicate. But it's hard to really explain to him, because as a man, their pride is very hard. It's like,
I understand.
You basically, I took care of things you should have, but they don't see what they do.
That's a lie. Men 100% see what we do. Not only do we see it, we're 10 times harder on ourselves than you can ever be on us. Men beat ourselves up for the mistakes that we make. Oftentimes we feel that we push women to things of that nature, honestly blame ourselves more than we should, because you made your own choices. It's always something that leads a woman to that. But if a man were to say his wife led him to those things, nobody will take it serious. Matter of fact, Judge Mathis just came out and said his cheating and his eventual child out of wedlock and outside the marriage came because his wife was restricting sex from him. Did anybody say, oh, Judge, that totally makes sense? It makes total sense why you would do what you did. You had every right to do it. Sounds like she was evil. Sounds like she was disobeying the word of God. When the word of God says your body is not your own, you should be giving yourself up to your husband or wife unless you're fasting. Y'all remember that scripture? Nobody gave that out to Judge Mathis, but we're supposed to do it to Sharelle and any other woman who was hurt, so they had to go revenge cheat. Every one of you listen to this stuff know it's some bull crap. And not only is it bull crap how it started, but it's how it ended, because it led to how it ended. Matter of fact, I've heard that saying, how it starts, that's how it ends. And we think we're going to be able to rewrite the script. We think what we sow, we won't also reap. We think that the things won't catch up to us, but it will. But the main point I want to make today, ladies and gentlemen, it's not about Rail, it's not about Ocho, it's about their child they share together. Both of these stupid fools came into this marriage with kids from previous relationships. And yet they didn't choose to make sure this situation won't look anything like the previous. They had a child prior to marriage. Yes, we know Rail being divorced already. Chad, I don't believe he's been married before, but we know all over the world there are co-parenting situations that started or ended one way or another. So I'm not saying that this couldn't have happened if they got married, but what would they say to that child? That my parents didn't even make it to the altar. Together 5 years, never made it to the altar. Or the other children. I'm sure several of them are grown already, but the others are most likely still in their home. What does that say to them? That my parents are out here acting like teenagers. They're not emotionally intelligent enough. They're not strong enough with their emotions. They're not able to maintain a relationship. How can they raise us effectively? I've heard this a lot, and I hold that to be true, that the most important thing you can do for your children is love on their parent, love on your husband, love on your wife. But if you never make it to the altar, how can they ever see you exhibit that? How can they ever experience that and be able to produce that within their relationships? Most families in the Black community, if you're going to do something great in your family, you're doing it in spite of what you saw in your household growing up. Most of us don't have the story that my parents loved on each other in the same home in front of us as a married couple. Most of us don't have the story that we didn't see our parents argue, fight, the police get called, knives get pulled. Most of us don't have that story. This week, one of my partners, Tamara, actually did a video, and she talked about the stages of dating and the staging of relationships that can hopefully get us all on the same page on what this should be. But me and her discussed this a little bit, and we talked about an integral part that she brought up. Let's take a look at that.
I came across this post, and this explains how you're supposed to date perfectly, okay? There's different stages. You have the talking stage, which means you've exchanged numbers, do things on a friendship level, and maybe even had sex, testing the water to see if we have a growing interest. Dating, we are spending time together, doing various activities, bowling, movies, bowling, concerts, dinner, as friends with a mutual interest in each other, but are still allowed to talk to other people. Dating exclusively. We are dating, however, we have cut off all other people we're interested in to focus on us getting to know each other better. And then there's the relationship. We have a mutual agreement to become a couple. It's just you and me, point blank, period. Now, what I would like to add to all of these different stages is you should not be bringing in a baby in any of these stages, right? That means as men and women, you should be doing your due diligence until you figure out if this person is husband or wife material. So during the talking stage, I almost feel like you probably shouldn't even be having sex at that point, right? We're still trying to figure out if I want to see you more than as a friend. But that's definitely not a time to bring a baby in if y'all decide to have sex. When y'all decide to date, if you're dating, you're trying to figure out, which one is going to weed themselves out. You should not be creating a family with any of those people, okay? Until you have decided to go into a committed relationship. Dating exclusively, even though you have cut off people that were potential suitors, you should not be bringing in a baby, period. Relationship, you should not be bringing in a baby. Right? Because even when you hit relationship status, between the talking stage and the relationship status, that can happen within a matter of 6 months. Okay? Within a 6 month time frame, you have hit all of those points. And 6 months is not long enough to be sitting here bringing in a baby with somebody you barely even know. 6 months does not mean you know anybody. Okay? And again, the talking stage, I feel like that's debatable about sex. I think you probably should wait. Okay? I need to even see if I even like spending time with you like that. Right? And I understand things are going to happen, but make sure you're not making permanent ties in situations that you don't even know is going to last. Okay? That's all we saying. This is how you supposed to date. Y'all make things too complicated. Before a relationship, nobody owes you anything. Okay? Technically speaking. even in a dating, situation, people are allowed to see who are they interested in. You may not be the only one, but the key is to find somebody that you have chemistry with and that you don't mind cutting off all others. And if the chemistry is right, you and that other person will automatically want to cut everybody off because it just feels so right. It's really not that difficult. But I sure appreciate whoever made this.
Spot on. And I think the number one thing to consider what she's saying here is the permanent ties. Think about this, ladies and gentlemen. And the fact that we're bringing up sex in this is, of course, is reality. We have to face the reality of what people are doing nowadays. I was one of the main ones doing it. I'm not here to judge anybody or condemn you to tell you that you're wrong. When I was dating, I was, that was part of the process. Although I was practicing abstinence, it wouldn't go as planned more often than not. But I will say, if we go in with this type of plan saying that, hey, in this stage, sex is expected, it's not breeding success. In that stage of my life, I do look at that as a regret. I do look at that as something I wish I did not do. I didn't need to test the waters. I didn't need to find out what I would have in marriage. I do know I'm a heterosexual, full-blooded male that enjoys to have sex. But I do know the consequences that come with that. Soul ties that come with that. But more than anything, I didn't want to create any type of permanent ties. So this list here is really good. Tamara broke it down really good, and I love what she's saying here. If you haven't already, go follow Tamara. I'll be sure to put her TikTok in the description section. So can we truly put Rail and Ocho to the side? I can really care less about them. The lesson that I want us all to take away from this is if we follow the proper order, when I say the proper order, I mean God's order, regarding marriage, regarding relationships, it breeds more success. I'm not telling you that marriage guarantees you will be with this person forever, but I am saying that if you go into this relationship with a permanent goal in mind, the goal is that we will be together forever. The goal is that we will have children together and be together, only together, raise them together. The goal is together. Everybody say the word together. How about that? The point is we will be together as a union. And with that, we are legally holding each other accountable and spiritually holding each other accountable to be committed under this covenant forever. So there's way more to lose whenever somebody loses their mind and decides to cheat or decide to move on, decide to do anything that's beyond the parameters of your relationship. They have way more to lose, so there's more likely that they won't be acting recklessly. And that 100% puts more of a hedge of protection around the children. God gave us all an instruction to be fruitful and multiply, so it is his intention for us to have children within the confines of a marriage because it protects everyone involved. That's the key takeaway I want us to take from the Ocho and Rail situation. We can talk about the drama of their relationship all we want, but what we need to learn from this is protect your children, protect yourselves. Marriage breeds way more success. It doesn't take you 5 years, 6 years. Y'all grown. Both of y'all been in relationship after relationship after relationship. Both of y'all have grown kids or definitely have kids. Now you have a kid together. It didn't take you that long. Maybe this frustration, maybe the end came because you wouldn't really start it. It never started. It never got off the ground. I don't know why we were celebrating two people dating. We celebrate marriage around here. But that's all I have for you guys today. Really want to hear what you guys have to say about this. I may have brought up something that many haven't heard already or many haven't really dug into as deep as I may have. But I want to hear from you guys. Hit me in the comment section below. Let's start that conversation. Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Mel. Thank you for joining my channel. Thank you for checking things out here. Oftentimes we go on people's pages and are like, man, what is going on here? What is the purpose of this channel? So let me be clear. The purpose of this channel is to speak truth regarding the nuclear family. And when I say truth, I'm not saying my truth, not your truth, but the Lord's truth. All about the word, all about the ways and the will of God. What does he have to say about the nuclear family? And I believe the generations of today, whether it be Gen X, millennials, Gen Z, Gen Y, whatever the case may be, I believe now we have a very toxic relationship regarding marriage, regarding family, regarding having children. We're in a toxic dynamic as we speak. And honestly speaking, a lot of the answers that we're looking for in our community, a lot of the cures and a lot of the answers would come from a proper, fulfilled family home. If you go down the line of everyone's individual trauma, there you will find some negligence or some type of issue that they had with their parents. So here on this channel, we address those things head on. We don't place fear in those issues and avoid the topic. We do what Jesus did. And when he said, don't assume that I came for peace, but I came with a sword. I came to turn family members against family members if it means you following me. If you have to cut them off, if you have to address them and have arguments for you to follow me, so be it. And I think at this point in our society, we're at the so be it stage. So here at Life Coaching by Mel, I'm all about bringing healing to that. And the number one way to do that is have honest conversations. So if that's something you like, that's something you're into, that's something you really want to be a part of, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Be sure to comment. Let me know what you think about everything. I do my best to respond as often as I can. I want to hear from you guys. This is not about me. It's about healing our nation, healing our states, healing our cities, healing our community, healing our homes. Love you guys. Take care.
Let's go.